Alright, so today we're going to look at this video from Too Lazy to Try titled Coffeezilla vs. Joe Rogan. And honestly, to me, it feels like a long time since I've seen Too Lazy actually cover comedians. But again, this has almost 1 million views in 3 days. Let's see what we got.
Hey, man. Thanks for being here. This was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, Joe.
I appreciate your show. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing. And I really enjoyed this.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the Epstein Experience featuring J.D. Vance. The vice president has gone on the world's largest podcast to slip us some propaganda. They're hoping you won't notice. Gotta be careful of the podcast these days. The times have changed. It's no longer bros talking. All these powerful people who used to go try to spin stuff on cable TV have now realized this is the new place to sell your propaganda. It's not on cable TV.
And let me add to this. Yes, dude. If you're dumb enough to not think that they're pulling the strings, they're doing this shit with pure intention, you're out of your mind. It's 100%. I 100% agree with Coffeezilla here. Just that little sentiment there, because these guys are so easily manipulated. These fans of podcasts will literally spend money to go see this person live do a thing called stand-up poorly. And the only reason they want to be there is because you're a famous guy from the internet. That's it, dude. It has nothing to do with your skill set or anything else that you could possibly bring to the table. They want to meet you because you're famous. And what do people obsess over now more than anything? Fame. So if they've seen your face on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or any of that shit, they're going to buy your ticket. But does that mean you're a good comedian? Does that mean you're funny? No, not even a little.
TV, nobody's there. It's on the Joe Rogan Experience. You gotta be skeptical of all these guys who go on the show. I mean, except that guy, obviously. Wait, click off that.
All right, so it's been over 3 years since Coffeezilla went on the Joe Rogan Experience, and at the time, Joe was a big fan of his and appreciated what he was doing and seemed to be in total agreement with him about how predatory crypto schemes are. And Joe thought memecoin pump and dumps should be illegal, but then Trump started his own coin, and of course, Joe had to try to defend it and downplay it, which Coffeezilla has to be really disappointed about because, Rogan was telling him he's doing great work, and it sounded like he agreed with everything. But then Rogan started justifying crypto schemes and doing damage control for the Epstein files and doing a ton of gambling ads. So now Coffeezilla had to start calling him out. And I don't think there's any chance Rogan would ever have him on the podcast again or even have a conversation like this again.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if these two never meet face to face again, because this is the last guy you want as not even just an enemy, but somebody looking at you, right? From the outside. Okay, because Coffeezilla, look at the Lego scandal, right? As soon as he got involved with that, it was over, okay? Leaning towards Reckless Ben, of course, but nonetheless, you have these two dudes who are basically polar opposites, right? Joe Rogan thinks he's a comedian, but he's actually just a host. And what is a host known for doing? Allowing his guests to just say whatever and do whatever. He just follows along, okay? That means you could shake some dollar bills in front of this fucking guy and he's gonna do whatever he can to get those dollar bills. Whereas Coffeezilla doesn't give a shit about that. He cares about what's right, what's moral, what leaves you with some dignity. And I'm just not seeing that in this space of big podcasts anymore. I feel like podcasts themselves should have already died off. But for some reason, there's too many fucking retards that are just continuously watching this shit to keep it alive. Like, hey man, there's better stuff, man. There's stuff that people are putting real money into for the creative part, not just to confuse and manipulate you. Try that.
I appreciate what you do. What you do is a very valuable service because you go so deep on some of these scammers. It's so important.
That these people are literally financially murdering people. After Celsius, people committed suicide because of, literally, it's a fact. People committed suicide because they lost everything.
I'm sure FTX as well.
Of course. The bigger the scam, there's just statistically, it almost becomes impossible that you don't at least, if not financially, sort of metaphorically murdering a family, you literally kill somebody. Either only the guy at the top goes down or nobody goes down.
Well, and let's remember, Coffee, Joe only cares about Joe and his group of friends. That's it. I don't even think he cares that much about his family. I think he's more interested in making as much money as he can for him and his buddies, so they can hang out in that green room without any worries, without getting in trouble by the government because they're doing illegal shit. Now, whatever that illegal shit is, we don't know because we're not privy to that green room. But could you imagine? Just imagine. As big of a conspiracy guy as Rogan used to be, he certainly has, bitten the bullet here and just said, I'll just be one of you guys. I mean, it was 10 years ago that he was talking about being part of the deep state? Or people were saying that he's part of the deep state? Wild shit, man. And like I said a few videos ago, they're being obvious for the sake of being obvious. Because the obvious, to most people today, is just them joking. Hey, it's just... why would I be so obvious if it was serious? And it's because when you were lying and hiding the shit and we found out, it made it that much worse. Now you're sitting here putting it right in our face like, see, look, this can't be real. And you're like, but you're doing it. What do you mean?
And that is crazy to me. It's like, what message are we sending via our regulators? Basically, it's like, hey, you're going to get a slap on the wrist if you're caught.
What you just did is why I'm interested in your show, because this is your real thoughts and opinions.
Something has to change.
Yes.
I mean, something has to change, where you can't just go on like this.
So wait, Joe's saying that that's why he's interested in Coffeezilla is because of his thoughts and opinions. It's like everybody has those. What are you talking about, guy? Everybody but your fans. Most people think for themselves. Most people have their own individual opinions. Except your fans. Your fans are just willing to take anything you spoon feed them like a fucking baby. Give me num-nums, right? Keep me alive. Give me something to give a shit about, or not give a shit about, or hate, or like. Why do you think guys like Tony Hinchcliffe, Brendan Schaub, and fucking Bert Kreischer have careers? Because Joe slowly spoon-fed you toddlers this nonsense that these guys are talented, and look at them today. Look at them today. Yikes.
Somebody has to be there when things go wrong.
Yes.
And there has to be consequences. If you lie and if you cheat and you steal, there has to be a guy at the end of the day who's going to put you in trouble. And I think a YouTube video is not nearly enough. This is why I'm constantly saying, like, can someone from the government get involved? Like, go lock this guy up. Go lock somebody.
So Trump decided to get involved by starting Trump Coin and Melania Coin. After that, Coffeezilla seemed to almost lose hope. He couldn't believe it. I mean, he spends all this time trying to expose how nefarious meme coins are and deter people from taking advantage of their followers by starting one. Then the president of the United States launches one and just cashes in. He made $635 million from his coin, and it's down almost 99% from its peak. So he looted these people, and if the president is doing this shit, what kind of precedent does that set?
Exactly. What kind of precedent does it set with our people, let alone people from other countries? What do they think about us if that's the guy in power? It's weird. Nobody thinks about who represents us as being something that should be positive in one way or the other. No matter what you think politically, it's like the guy is representing us as a country, and this is the behavior. So then everybody who already hates us is going to be like, well, now you're giving us even more reason to hate you. Hey man, I'm not that smart, but it feels obvious to me.
It's just a free-for-all out there, and I think this is when Coffeezilla started using the phrase crime is legal. And after Melania Coin was launched, he sounded defeated, because on Rogan's podcast, he was talking about how the government needs to get involved and lock people up. But then the head of the government and his wife started their own coins. So Coffeezilla was in shock, especially because at that point, it seemed like starting a meme coin was basically a career ender for most people. I mean, Hawk Tua had launched one right before Trump, and that ended her 15 minutes of fame. That completely destroyed her career, which I'm sure started to discourage people from launching their own coin. But then Trump came out with his a month later. And I mean, right when it seemed like starting a meme coin was thought of as the lowest form of grifting, Trump launches one. I mean, it was low even for Hawk Tua, a girl who's just trying to cash in on some stupid viral video. So you'd think to start a coin after that disaster, you got to be completely shameless. But unfortunately, I guess we learned the president of the United States is more shameless than a girl who's known for talking about...
Yep. They just don't care, dude. That's why I say they're putting the obvious in front of you instead of some sort of lie or bullshit that you have to sift through to find the truth. Here's this thing, obviously, plain as day, right in front of you, and we're just going to play it off like, oh man, we're only making it obvious because we want you to think that there's no truth behind it. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you guys. But they're basically not doing the misdirection anymore. The misdirection is the obvious part. But either way, guys, this is a pretty long video. Go check out Too Lazy to Try. I'm sure you have already. Hit the like and subscribe over here, and we'll see you in the next one.